Warning, this video is for entertainment purposes only. This is not meant for professional mechanical advice. If you don't know what you're doing, please seek professional help. Just because I do something in these videos, doesn't mean you should. You have been warned.
Alright guys, I'm back. Downside is I'm running out of daylight fast. So I'm probably going to have to do all this off camera. In a nutshell. We'll take out this cotter pin. Remove this castle nut. Pound it loose. So, cotter pin, castle nut, crack it loose, which is going to go that way, lefty-loosey. Unthread it, match it up, thread it back in. Same with this, and then just reverse it on the other side. So, I'm going to figure out a way if I can Alright. Cotter pins out, guys. So there's both cotter pins. I can almost guarantee these are probably metric. Yep. I figured they were metric. So I've got to run over to my toolbox real quick and grab my metric set of wrenches. I thought they were standard, but knowing me and knowing everything from like 2000 on forward is 99.9% metric. Unlock the old toolbox here. Grab a 19, 16, 17, 21, 20. When in doubt, just grab a whole handful of wrenches. I know you're thinking, hey, why didn't you just roll your box over here? One, I got tools, expensive tools. Well, I shouldn't say expensive tools, but one, I like having my box behind the gate because people around here have sticky fingers. Two, at least with the box behind the gate, I can still keep an eyeball on it, and I always have the key on me, and it's always locked. So, what are they going to do? Steal the whole box? And I'm out $60 worth of wrenches? Because I get most of my wrenches from, like, Harbor Freight, or, sorry, a little bit of ranch in my beard from dinner. Anyways, I get most of my wrenches from Harbor Freight, pawn shops, garage sales, you name it. I'm not spending, buku bucks on wrenches when either A, they're going to break, or B, I can get them cheap. So, just flip you back around and then throw you back underneath the car. Perfect. Okay. Nope, that's 17. We're not at 18. There we go. 19 mil. Now, obviously, this came off easier than what I thought. But just in case it didn't, torch. Heat helps. So, 1 second. Tanya Harding 101. Now you're asking, some of you are probably asking, Adam, why did you spin the nut backwards? So, obviously, if you're not aware of it, these threads go straight up to the top. If I were to take this 3-pound sledge and whack right here without a nut on it, I could bugger up those threads, mushroom out the top of the hole, and it ain't going through. So, I usually spin it on a couple threads. If you don't have a sledgehammer, you can also use a dead blow, like this. I picked this up from O'Reilly's for like 20 bucks. It's not that bad. Not that bad. Okay. I thought I had a can of PB Blaster around here. It must be somewhere else. But you can also use a little bit of penetrating fluid right here. Let it soak for about 20 minutes. And then give it a good old whack. Or use torch. Either way. I was bending that shaft sideways, so I didn't want to do that. That's one way to get it off. Or they make a pickle fork, shove it in here, and then basically it right out. But there's a reasoning why I like using a hammer. Gets out my frustrations. Especially when I know idiots worked on this last. Yep, my 19 mil. Okay. Alright. I know what some of you are thinking. You're like, well, how come you just don't use a ratchet? It's a lot faster. You are correct. It is. sometimes doing it by hand helps. Alright. So obviously this nut's just sitting here going whee on the shaft. So I usually take a wrench, shove it right there, and basically it's just here for just to hold that shaft even while you take the rest of the castle nut off. I will be right back, guys. I gotta have 2 hands for this. Alright, guys. So, that trick didn't work. So, what I'm doing is I'm heating up the nut just by a little bit. Trying to expand that metal just by a hair. And then grab my 19. See if I can't take that off. I got another option. Hang on. Okay, guys. I apologize. I'm going to have to cut this video short. It is way too dark to work out here. But I'm going to get this side done, flip over to the other side, redo everything, and then if I have time, I will throw in a quick cut on how to match up the parts. So, I'm going to get off here for now, keep working on this. Like I said, it's a little bit too dark out here to work, especially by phone and headlight, but I don't want my battery to die, and I got some work to do over here. So, like I said, I'll throw in a small cut on how to match up the parts and whatnot, but once I get this done, then I'll kind of do a once over once everything's finished. Okay, I'll catch you later. Thanks.
Yeah, you were saying. Warning: this does contain profanity. Turn down your volumes. And I apologize to those with headphones.
Okay, guys, I'm back. I'm going to show you something because this has got me so pissed off to the point where I am going to sue both the shop and the dealership. I'm going to flip you around. So, I've got the bottom tie rod off. correct? Okay, so, God, metal's hot. Bottom tie rod, inner tie rod. I know it's going to be hard to see, but see if I can zoom in. Okay. Watch the over there. Now watch as I move this back and forth. This is so bad that it is literally about to fall off. If I were to twist this, which I probably can, if I were to twist it far enough, that other side is going to pop loose. But like I said, this is such a major safety concern. If this would have came off on the highway, I probably would have been dead. And you know what? As me being as petty as I am right now, I don't curse very often, but I'm just going to use this word. Rhymes with chuck it. You know what I'm talking about. And the only reason why I say chuck it is because this is a family-friendly channel and I don't want to curse. But I'm saying chuck it and calling out both the shop and the dealership. A&Z Auto on Garfield in St. Joseph and Two Kings Auto on Pear Street in St. Joseph. I'm calling you both out. This should have been caught last year when I bought the frickin' vehicle. Like I said, I don't like bashing chops, but when people's safety are at risk and people's lives are at risk, you can guarantee I will call you out. Okay? I am not kidding. Somebody could have died because of this, because of one of your guys' negligence. I don't know which mechanic at A&Z Auto worked on it on Garfield, but I hope to God that you never touch another vehicle ever again. And whoever owns that shop needs to own up to it. Okay? And second of all, Two Kings Auto on Pear Street, if you even thought about considering having a reputable mechanic look at this Jeep like you said you did, which I think you're full of. I'm sorry. I just cursed. But you know what? I'm calling you out. If somebody else would have bought this vehicle, I can guarantee you they would have sued you within an inch of your life. I've owned businesses before. I own my own business. I stand behind my work. As soon as I bought this vehicle and I showed you the video of that motor being blown, you should have stood behind it, offered me a different vehicle, and said, hey, look, I screwed up. I made the mistake. I'm going to own up to it like a man. Did you? No. You decided to be a little petty, vindictive, con-sleazing, I'm going to use the word prick here because I'm going to, there's a few more colorful words I could use. And you know I could use them. But I can guarantee you, if you, I hope to God you lose your dealership license. You should not be allowed to sell vehicles in this condition. If I would have known this vehicle was this bad, I would have turned right back around, gotten my money back, and thrown you the keys. I'm sorry, but when people's lives are at risk, that's one thing I don't like messing around with. I don't. If you kill somebody because of your negligence, either A&Z Auto or Two Kings Auto, because both of you guys are too goddamn lazy to do your freaking jobs, oh, I'd hate to get in a vehicle with either one of you. I don't know where Two Kings Auto got this Jeep. More than likely, it was probably from the auction, and he probably only had like $300 and said, look, I only got X amount of cash, give it to me, and then I'll go back and sell it for $5,000 or $4.5. I don't freaking think so. Hell no. Let me hit pause real quick, and I'm going to flip over to the other side, because I'm going to show you how bad this is. I don't get pissed off very easy, but this right now has got me flipping livid. Hold on. Yeah, look at this freaking crap. See? Whole shaft right here. Just freaking wobble. The only thing holding this entire vehicle up is the bolt and the counter pin. What if this would have split apart? Yeah. Yeah, what if this bulge or this lower tie rod end right here split apart while I was on the highway? Because I've seen these split apart. I've even had ball joints snap in half. You know how many trips I took up to Iowa in this thing with my family? In this Jeep? Not only both me and my wife, but also both my dogs. If this would have frickin' let go on the interstate at 70 miles an hour, people would have been killed. Okay? Shit like this should not... I'm sorry for cursing, guys, but this has got me so pissed off right now. I am not happy. This got me so fucking pissed off that both fucking A&Z Auto and Two Kings Auto both did not catch it. So now I'm out here wasting my fucking time, on my own time, through my business that I set up, because guess what? I legitimately look through fucking crap. Like this. A&Z Auto, I don't know which owner you are, I don't know which mechanic you are, but when I find you, oh, you and I are going to have a go around. And you can guarantee I will be in touch with my lawyer. And I will sue you for everything that you have. If my life is in danger, you can guarantee that you are going to frickin' pay for it. You should have caught this last year when I bought the vehicle. And yes, I know this is being recorded, and this can be, used in the court of law, and I hope it does. Because I will take both of you for everything that you own. If you put people's lives in danger, I'm sorry for cursing, guys, and I'm sorry for using the Lord's name in vain, but when you got shady mechanics like that actually own a shop, and mind you, I will be driving by both of your guys' places of business and putting you on blast. I can guarantee you that I will record every freaking minute of it. When both of you own a shop or a dealership, and both of you don't want to own up to crap because you are too goddamn lazy to crawl your butts up underneath the vehicle and actually check crap over, especially when A&Z Auto had the entire front clip of this Jeep torn apart. To put the new motor in, you had the entire front end torn apart. Guess what? I can guarantee you, when you took off that fender, you probably should have looked at the tie rod ends. Not only the tie rod ends, but also the suspension mounted to the freaking steering rack. Well, technically it's not a rack in this case. The gearbox. I'm sorry, guys. This has just got me so pissed off to the point to where I can't even think straight, and I am this close to smoking a cigarette on camera. I don't want to, but I will. But yeah, A&Z Auto, you had the entire front clip of this vehicle off. And I can guarantee you, you probably saw that. I even gave you a list for everything that I wanted fixed. Did you do it? No. Let's see here. And I can name that list right off the top of my head, and that's been a year ago. Water pump, was that done? No. New belt? No. New plugs? Hell no. New coils? Nope, definitely not. Nope, no new coils, no new plugs, no new belt, no new water pump, and no new thermostat. 5 items. Right there. I knew it was... Freaking mosquitoes. I knew it was a rebuilt motor. There's a reasoning why I wanted that done, because I wasn't sure what the condition was out of the previous vehicle. If a customer gives me a list and says, hey, I want this done. I want the water pump changed. I want the belt redone. Because you have no idea how many miles are on that belt. That could have been the original belt from the factory, for all you know. New thermostat. I always put a new thermostat in when I at least do a water pump. I didn't do it this time because I didn't have the money. And it didn't leak. And a new water pump. Why? Because I don't know how many miles are on that old water pump. Guess what? While you were at it, you probably should have done your job correctly and replaced the hoses while you're at it. Let's see here. You put 2 clamps on one hose, and then you barely even put a clamp on the other line. There were loose freaking hoses underneath the hood, back by the firewall, because I personally did that. I put everything back together. I did the freaking tune-up job. I replaced the coil packs. Because you, whichever mechanic was at A&Z Auto and the owner, were too fucking lazy to do it. I'm surprised you're still in business. I'm surprised you haven't killed somebody yet. There's one thing I stress above anything else, and that is safety. And I'm sorry, but the shit like this is the most unsafe thing in the world. And you call yourself a mechanic. I'm sorry, guys, but that has just got me so livid to the point to where I can't even think straight. I am half tempted to wrap this project up tonight. Because lazy ass bastards cannot do their job correctly and take 2 minutes to inspect frickin' tie rod ends and a frickin' pitman arm. And the dealership that sold this shit to me, you shouldn't even be in business either. I'm surprised you haven't killed somebody else. And whatever mechanic you got going, that you got working for you, allegedly, fire their ass. Unless you did it yourself. And if you did it yourself, you should not be touching the car. Look, if you want to hire me, but I can guarantee you're going to be paying for it. Or you know what? If you got vehicles that you need worked on, I'll gladly do it. For $90 an hour, because that's what I charge. Why do I charge $90 an hour? Because I got the experience behind me, and I got my own insurance to pay for, I got my own bills to pay for, I got a mortgage to pay for. And I'm sure you do too. Not only a mortgage, but you probably also got property taxes on your business. You got taxes to pay for on every vehicle that you frickin' buy for the business. And shit like this, I hope to God you've never oh my God. 2 Kings Auto on Paris Street. No. Do not go there to save your life. A&Z Auto. I know some people around town go to A&Z Auto. For the love of God, whatever you do, if you ever get your vehicle fixed there, take it somewhere else and have it double checked. Because shit like this shouldn't have happened. And I'm making phone calls tomorrow because I am so pissed off right now. One to my lawyer. Actually, yeah, my lawyer, and well, there's a few other personal phone calls I gotta make. But definitely my lawyer. I am not happy. When you put people's lives at risk because of simple crap like this, and it takes 2 to 5 minutes, and guess what? Maybe a little bit of time crawling your... I'm sorry for cursing, and I apologize ahead of time for this, but if you're too fucking lazy to crawl your fat fucking ass up underneath the vehicle and check shit like this, this is the most basic crap of mechanicking 101. I'll tell you what. I follow Car Wizard on YouTube too. If he saw this shit, he'd be as livid as I would be. But anyways, I just wanted to throw that out there. this will be going on Facebook, social media, YouTube, pretty much Snapchat. Anywhere else I can put it, I am putting it on the internet. When you risk people's lives like this, it gets me livid. Nobody's life is worth a paycheck. Nobody's life is worth an extra $50 to $60 in your pocket because you're too lazy to fucking check shit. Guess what? And if I knew the customer was limited on funds, I personally would have bought the parts, fixed it, and wrote it off as a tax or as a business expense and as a loss so I could save their life. If this would have broke on the interstate at 70 miles an hour, I can guarantee you that not only would this be broken, my brakes would be gone. The tire may hold up the vehicle. That's not a guarantee. But yeah, simple crap like this, because people do not want to, take 10 minutes and check over a vehicle. And plus, not to mention, that CV boo down there should have been caught as well. There's bearings in there that need to be greased. There's a reasoning why there's grease in the frickin' boots. If that boot's been torn for a year, whoo, mama. Yeah, we had issues there, Captain. What if this would have split going down the interstate? I wouldn't have had any steering. And if I was in one of the outside lanes or one of the other lanes and both of this crap went out, I can guarantee you if I was going to this direction down the interstate and this crap broke, I'd be going that way. Fast. Which would mean, okay, let's actually role play this crap out. Picture Joe Blow Dingus in the Jeep cruising down the interstate at 70 miles an hour with busted tie rod ends and a busted inner tie rod end for the pitman arm. Let's see here. Let's do a, random shit happens. Okay? Crap falls on the highway, like it usually does. From a semi. From some goddamn moron. Hell, you hit a pothole. You hate road construction. Insert scenario here. Tie rods break. I don't care if it's on the right or the left. Okay? Guess what? If it broke on the passenger side, your tire's going this direction. If it broke on the driver's side, it's going that way, my friend. And that's just for the tie rod ends on the bottom. Let's say absolute worst case scenario, the pitman arm ball joint snapped off and separated itself from the pitman arm. What's the pitman arm connected to? The frickin' steering box. Let's hear, what's the steering box connected to? The steering shaft that goes into the vehicle for the steering wheel. If you can't steer, you either going straight or, say worst case scenario, you're going around a curve, that thing separates and your tires are still pointed, instead of pointed straight, they're now like this. Say you're making a, going around a right-hand curve and it splits. Guess what? You're still going right. Okay, so let's say that thing splits and you're going this way around a curve and it splits on the ball joint. Okay, so you're going this way. Guess what? Your tires are still pointed this way, but you crank the wheel back straight because you hope to God that, you know, you think, okay, everything's perfectly fine. I just had this in the shop. We're good. Guess what? Your vehicle's still going that way, Captain. And guess what's that direction? Fucking traffic. Let's see here. If your tires are pointed that way because the pitman arm separated itself from the ball joint and you just happen to have your wheel cranked one direction or the other, not only are you putting the people in the vehicle at risk, you're putting the people in that vehicle at risk, and that one. I'm just using my vehicles here for an example because they're here. I know I'm on my soapbox right now, but no. No. A&Z Auto on Garfield in St. Joseph, and 2 Kings Auto on Pear Street in St. Joseph. I will be contacting my lawyer, and I will be suing you for everything you own. I will even put my house up for sale and put that on the market. Granted, my wife would be fucking pissed at me, but you know what? Nobody's life is worth that shit. Nobody's. And if you guys can't freaking find halfway decent help, especially A&Z Auto, because just kind of got me sketch on what the hell you guys are running down there. Whew. No, thank you, Captain. I will guarantee you that if I worked on this vehicle, it would have not left my shop like that. I'm not going to put my business on the line. I'm not going to put my reputation out there on something that I worked on, knowing it came into the shop looking like that. There's one thing I stress about anything else, and that is safety. There's 2 things. I'm sorry for cursing again, like I said, but there's 2 things I take highly stressful in this job, in this line of work. And that is brakes and suspension. Why? Because they are so closely intertied with each other that you can kill somebody. Think about that for a minute. What if it was your wife and your kids in that vehicle? And they run into somebody. Or they run into somebody else. I can guarantee you, first thing that's going to happen is there's going to be an investigation. Second thing that's going to happen, your insurance is going to go through the goddamn roof. And then that insurance company is going to go back and figure out who did all the work to the vehicle and sue their ass. What if there was a little kid in one of these vehicles and it got into an accident? What if somebody had rear-ended somebody because you were too lazy to do your job? What if you hit somebody else, T-boned them at 70 miles an hour, ending their life? Because I can guarantee you, you're either going to end the life of a driver if it goes right, or a passenger if it goes left. No. Nope. Like I said, A&Z Auto and Two Kings Auto on Paris Street. I'm calling you both out. I'm suing both of you. That's on video and it can be used against me in a court of law. I don't care. Criminal proceedings. I don't care what it costs me. I don't care if I got to put my house up for a second mortgage. But I can guarantee you, I will gladly spend hundreds of thousands of dollars on a lawyer because somebody was too lazy to do their job. .5 minutes. That's all it really takes. Is to crawl up underneath the vehicle, do a little bit of extra freaking maintenance, and, poke around a little bit, double check some stuff. I don't care what kind of business you're in. I don't care if you own a business. I don't care if you're working for a freaking corporation. And I'm just going to use O'Reilly's for an example, or AutoZone. I don't care. Doesn't have to be really automotive. But safety first, guys. Safety first. I'm sorry.